Hi and welcome to this video. This is Barbara from Vienna, Austria, and we are going to do two different things today. So I picked up this postage stamp book from the flea market a while ago, and I decided to put my book phrases in here that I cut out of books to use in collages, etc. And I really hated the cover, so I had to do something about that. So I'm going to use Mod Podge and scraps to beautify this cover. And because I am one of those people that need to have everything pretty that they work with. So if I have this brown book cover and I don't like it, I'm not going to enjoy using this book. So I had to do something about it. And originally I wanted to use fabric to make a fabric cover, but then I was chatting with my friend Allison in the States, and she actually suggested that I just do a collage on it. And perfect, love that idea. Don't know why I didn't come up with it myself. So that's what I'm doing, and I'm so happy I decided to do that because I love the result. So I think I'm using way too much Mod Podge, but that kind of just happens. And I'm just using my regular scraps, and I'm just making sure that I'm folding them over to the inside cover so that I don't have any edges on the edge of the cover. And the way I'm trying to go about it is I'm kind of working from the outside in, and I'm going to do that on both sides and then worry about the spine once those two sides are done. And the scraps I'm using are from various sources. The one that I'm just putting down now is actually a printout from Nazi's French paper collection from her Etsy shop. And the corners I'm just gluing down like you would if you would just cover a book with any paper or even fabric. You just snip off the corner and then put those down. Here are some ledger papers. This is another scrap of Nazi's papers, always making sure to cover it up until the inside. Up until the inside, that was not English, I'm sorry, but you know what I mean. And so there's the front cover done and dry. So now we're moving on to the back cover. Same process. Just taking random papers. For the back side, I took some papers that were a bit bigger just because I didn't think the back was as important because I'm mostly going to be looking at the front. So I just wanted it to be covered. So again, doing the corner thing. Here's some vintage music paper. A lot of the papers are from flea markets or from Happy Mails as well. This one, I don't know where this one is from. It's from a Happy Mail, but I don't remember which one, unfortunately. So now we have front and back done and dried. And now I need to think about what to do with the spine. So I wasn't sure how well this was going to work given that the spine has to move, but I thought I'll just try it. So I took this one document, which might have come from Allison's Happy Mail. Looks like some sort of receipt. And I am just tearing it in half and tearing the part off with the hole punched in it, because for the spine I didn't want any of the brown showing through. So I'm doing the same thing that I did for the front and back and was hoping for the best. And I'm just making sure it's on really well, and also that the crease that you have in the front and back of the spine is also pushed in. And yeah, just added the second part of the receipt on the bottom. And there's the front and back cover done. Really loving how that turned out. And now it was time to think about what to put on the inside covers. So I decided to take my beloved memoranda pad, and I wanted to use, oh, no. This is not the inside yet. I'm sorry, this is still for the outside. I wanted to decorate the front some more. And so I wanted to choose one of these memoranda papers. So this is like the summary paper in the back where you have like miniature versions of the big 12 by 12 pages. So I cut this one out that I thought would go well with the colors, and then I couldn't decide, do I use the front or the back? Even though this side would have worked really well with the colors, it was too busy for me and I wanted something more calm. So I went with this side, and I'm of course inking that up. And I'm just gonna glue it down with Mod Podge since I had it out and my brush was full of glue anyway. And unfortunately I glued it right over those wonderful numbers I had on the left side. I didn't even notice that when I did it. Now, quickly showing you this book, because this is also a postage stamp book I found at the flea market. It's a very small one, and I decided to put my small ephemera in this one rather than my big ephemera book, because I had the feeling they kind of got lost. Even though I love my other ephemera book, you might have seen it if you've seen my previous videos, but for the small ones, this one is just perfect. I love it so much. And here I can see all the ephemera really well. I can grab it really easily. It's organized well. Love it, love it, love it. And it's so small that it's very handy to just grab. And so I made this cover for it, unfortunately off camera. I do apologize for that. And this is what it looked like when I picked it up at the flea market. So you see, it was totally in a horrible condition, poor thing. So that's why I had to give it a completely new cover, and just took the insides and glued those into my cover. And the cover is made with the same memorandum pad by Tim Holtz, which I will link below again. So now I'm looking for a label to put on as a title, and I choose this one. This is a Nick Booksmith label that I believe you can find in her Etsy shop. Says notes, perfect for our purpose. And now we are choosing the papers for the inside, back and front cover. I was hoping I could use some of the scraps that were left over from the hardback journal project that I was where I was following Izzy from Izzy Craft Creations, but unfortunately those were too small. So I decided to go for this one, and I really loved it because of that floral piece on the left. And I just measured it with my pencil and used that as a template for the back side, and I'm now inking around both front and back covers. And now I'm going to use my, in the meantime, beloved 3-in-1 glue, which is also linked below in case you want some from Amazon. And just making sure I am burnishing that down really well so it sticks really nicely. So front and back done, but that's not all. I also decided I wanted some pockets, and I wanted clear pockets because I didn't want to cover that beautiful floral design on the front and the back. So I took one of these old plastic folder thingies that I had laying around, and I decided to make a pocket out of that. So I just again kind of tried to very roughly measure how tall and wide it had to be, just using my paper trimmer. And now I'm cutting the last side, which will separate the front and the back. Now I have two separate pieces since I want a pocket in the front and the back. And now I'm just cutting an arch, and there we have the front pocket. And now I'm again using the 3-in-1 glue, and I love that I'm gluing this down because I love watching how it squishes underneath the clear, because you don't usually see that if you're gluing cardboard. Yeah, I know. The little pleasures we have. And I'm doing the same thing for the back side. So now I have clear pockets front and back, which is awesome. I don't know if I'll need them, but if I do, they will be there. And I just wanted to try making them because I've never made clear pockets before. So that's done, and now we're gonna have a very sudden jump to the next project I wanted to share with you, which is making some, so here I'm just showing you a flip through. I made some, how do I say this? So I made some, I assembled some goodies for two ladies, Angel and Miyuki, who I'm going to see in 2 days at the Vienna Craft Fair, which I'm very excited about. We have that 2 times a year, once in May and once in October. And we're going to go there together, and we always exchange goodies when we meet. But I needed something to package all those goodies to keep them together, and so I decided to use these very vintage envelopes, which have a very strange size and shape and color. I found these at Goodwill a while ago, and so I decided to use those. And I'm going to make a mushroom collage on each one of those. And these mushrooms I had scanned and printed on coffee dyed paper from this German book. I am showing it because sometimes I get questions which book the images I use are from, so this is the information in case you want to search for that. I got this book at Goodwill. I'm pretty lucky with my finds at Goodwill, and I just wanted to show you the original images. So I scanned them, and then I just used software to put them all on one page, and then I printed them on my coffee stain paper, and I fussy cut them, and I already inked them up as well. So they are ready to go, and I'm going to make 2 different collages on the 2 different envelopes. And I had no vision of how this collage should look. I just knew it had to have mushrooms. So here I'm just trying out some different variations. I think that's always fun to play with your focal points. And I decided 2 is the way to go. And now I wanted to use some of my scraps. So this is my scrap box. And I wanted to use some of the scraps in the background to lighten up the background underneath the mushrooms so that they would show up better, since the background is quite dark and has similar colors to the mushrooms. So I'm just grabbing random bits, more or less. I knew I wanted to use that music paper because that looked so cute. And now this is a piece of a ledger which has some beautiful handwriting on it. And then I thought it needed another little piece down there, and also some more typed font, which was from a random document from Goodwill, no, from Flea Market, I believe. And finally, I'm adding another ticket-like piece. I believe I got this one from Allison. I love the colors of it for this project. Has a little one there that I'm going to put on the bottom. Yeah, and that is the base of the one collage. And now comes the part I dislike the most about collaging is gluing everything down, because I never managed to glue them in the place that I had intended them to be. But yeah, such is life. Maybe I should make a drawing, because I can't use my camera to take a photo because I'm filming with my phone, which is my camera. I don't have another camera, so yeah. So yeah, putting everything down. Now the only thing that's left are the 2 focal points. And then I also wanted to pick out a little phrase from the book that we had just made the cover for, so that you can see it in action. I love how I can read everything so easily now. And I decided to go for this one, which says, "Soon she was smiling a friendly smile," because I'm hoping that Miyuki or Angel would smile when they see my goodies. I'm just inking that up, and then I'm just going to glue that down on the bottom. Trying to find the perfect spot. And that is the collage number 1. And so now it was time to fill up this envelope with the goodies, which is such a fun part. So I have put together some book pages. This is Miyuki's envelope. These are some tags that I have just embossed. I love how these turned out. And just put them together with a little bulldog clip, which I added a little fabric piece to. Next I have various bits and pieces. Then I have some cards that I found at flea market, and 2 envelopes filled with smaller goodies where the washi wouldn't stick, so I just stuck those down and put those into the envelope. So that is envelope number 1 for Miyuki. I hope she enjoys it. I had a lot of fun putting this together. And now we're going to do envelope 2. This is for Angel, and we're going to do another collage. And so we're going to see which ones we want for our focal points. This time I am going to go for 3 mushrooms. They're all cute. I wish I could put them all there. That would be a bit cluttered, I think. So I am again taking some music paper. And here's, I think this is a scrap from, which was left over from the spine of the book that we just covered. I did like those numbers on the right. Then here's again a part of that typed old paper. Basically, I'm just trying to fill up the background so that they would again stand out a little more. This is some random book page. I believe it's a German book. And finally, I'm going to put a little piece of this lined vintage paper. It will be the last for the background. Liking that a lot. So I've already glued down the background, and now I'm just adding my focal points. And again, we're going to look for some words that might work with this collage. And let's see, we're going to go for the one that says it was very quiet there, because when I look at this collage, I think of a forest, and in a forest it's usually quiet. So that's why I thought that would work well. Just adding that to the bottom. So that's what it looks like at the end. Really love adding these book phrases. I got that idea from Natasha from Treasure Books. She has a video on that. Now again, I'm adding some book pages and the embossed tags. Both packages are similar but not completely the same. So there's some random bits and some more cards and 2 envelopes with various smaller bits. So that's the second one done. It was really fun. So both of them ready to go, and I hope they enjoy them. So I hope you enjoyed this video as well, and I hope to see you in the back in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good day. Bye.